The timing of all this copyright and ownership is uncanny. No, it's always happening. I talk about copyright so much on this broadcast. You're just like paying more attention to it because of the Aiden Ross stuff recently. But it is one of the most nefarious, one of the most awful ways in which capitalist profit seeking will destroy and eviscerate forms of art, including video games and including Twitch streaming as well, including live streaming or any kind of content creation on the internet. Ed Sheeran vows to quit music if he's found guilty of ripping off Marvin Gaye's Let's Get On With It and Thinking Out Loud in copyright trial. If that happens, I'm done. I'm stopping. I find it really insulting to devote my whole life to being a performer and songwriter and have someone diminish it. It's fucking mental. What are some songs of Ed Sheeran? To be honest, the lawsuit is bullshit, bad for music overall. What's the fucking lawsuit about? Isn't there a different term for this? It's like not even sampling. The 32-year-old singer-songwriter is accused of lifting a 4-chord progression from the soul classic in his song Thinking Out Loud. He vehemently denied the claims he infringed upon Gaye and his co-writer Ed Townsend's 1973 hit. Interpolation, yeah. Music copyright is disgustingly bad. Estates of certain musicians try to copyright melodies and chord progressions of which there are only 12 notes and only a few combinations that rarely ever get used in pop, and it will monopolize and destroy music entirely. Here's one of Ed's songs. What's the part of the chord progression that's like that they are song Alex G blessing? Stop. Just because we're listening to music doesn't mean this is the Alex G Power Hour. Stop it.
Ed Sheeran is being sued for copying Marvin Gaye's classic hit Let's Get It On in his 2014 Grammy-winning song Thinking Out Loud.
Darling, I will be loving you till we're 70.
Let's get it.
Copyright protection.
Okay, that's a bit crazy. Wait, what the really? Yo, am I crazy? That's insane.
These songs sound the same to you?
When my hair's all but gone and my memory fades.
Well, if they do sound the same, we can use music theory vocabulary to explain why. The drum grooves are identical, the bass line is the same, the chord progressions are nearly identical, the harmonic rhythm is the same, and the melodies are phrased very similarly. They both backphrase off of beat 1, they emphasize the 3rd degree of the scale, and resolve to the 1st degree of the scale. The copyright trial of the century has started. Ed Sheeran versus Marvin Gaye, or to be more precise, the estate of Ed Townsend, co-songwriter of Marvin Gaye's classic hit, Let's Get It On. The estate of Ed Townsend alleges that Ed Sheeran's song, Thinking Out Loud, infringes on the copyright of Let's Get It On, and they have a smoking gun. The evidence of this
Bro, I don't know anything about music. I don't listen to music. I don't understand music theory, and I get it. Like, when you go down to the theory of it all, it seems like they're very similar, but like I constantly find myself going back to the same thing I say all the time, which is that all art is derivative, and like trying to copy strike this seems insane. Okay, that seems insane. What the dude? Fuck it, dude. Fuck it. Almost like when your girlfriend plagiarized.
You're my starlight, I need you.
All night, party till the sunrise now, don't stop.
Okay, this is very different than what we just saw. Okay, what we just saw is very different. This is like the same song. This is not the same song. Like this is sampling. So I feel like if they didn't give if they didn't get proper clearance, like that's a valid case. This is chord progressions. You're copy striking like chord progressions. Let's continue with this.
Smoking Gun is a live video of Ed Sheeran mashing up Let's Get It On with Thinking Out Loud in concert. This, to me, is not particularly damning. If you're familiar with the Axis of Awesome's 4-chord mashup songs that use the same progression generally are easy to match.
Is sampling not fair use? No, it's entirely dependent. Like, Dua Lipa didn't sample, but I agree. If they didn't sample, right? Ooh, a poopy? Girl. It like sampling means like you got clearance. Good girl. Good job. They found Dua Lipa. They did not find Dua Lipa liable though. Great. I mean, fuck it. I still think like, I mean, even if they're clear ripping, I would rather be less protective of copyright as long as it's like, you know, a little bit different enough.
Mash up with one another and aren't evidence.
And like overall protect the sphere than to allow shit like this to happen with like incredibly litigious copyright holders of estates.
Illegal copying. You could, for example, do a mashup of songs that use the same chord progression of Let's Get It On, 1, 3 minor, 4, 5, and create a convincing mashup of them.
Making love against the wall, feeling very small and weak. Make it slow, make it slow. I make you run away. I've been really trying, baby. This is the way I always dreamed it would be.
This is a super common chord progression, so common, in fact, that it has a name. Philip Tagg, in his music theory textbook Everyday Tonality, calls it the Ionian mediantial narrative. So the chord progression is super common, but why do Thinking Out Loud and Let's Get It On sound so similar? Well, as the plaintiff's forensic musicologist correctly notes, it's the harmonic rhythm of the chord progression. The second and fourth chords of the 4-chord loop anticipate the third beat of each measure. Because both songs share the same harmonic rhythm, all other elements of the arrangements will inevitably be the same: the bass line, the drum groove, etc. The question, of course, is this evidence of Ed Sheeran copying Marvin?
Wait, I'm a music professor. Adam Neely's kind of full of it. He uses academic music language, but misses the mark so much he's a meme to musicians. So do you disagree with the statement that he's making here? Because I don't know any better. To me, it sounds like he knows what the fuck he's talking about. He said a bunch of music theory related shit, and I'm just sitting here thinking, yeah, that seems good to me. You have convinced me, sir.
Marvin Gaye and Ed Townsend? Or is it just a total coincidence? I think there's something else going on here. The things that make Let's Get It On and Thinking Out Loud sound so similar are stylistic. They are what make those songs fit within a given style, a pop soul ballad. Songs that are in the same genre will tend to have the same musical characteristics, like anticipated beat 3, super common. If you don't use the very limited number of chords, scales, and melodies that are associated within a particular genre, you won't be writing in that genre.
There's only so many notes and very few chords used in pop music.
It just won't sound that way. It won't evoke that particular style and feel and era. If you didn't anticipate beat 3, like Thinking Out Loud and Let's Get It On do, it would evoke an earlier style, like all of those songs.
I feel like it's a race to the bottom, as it is always with copyright, where it's like whoever gets there first is just like gonna make out like a bandit. You know what I mean? They're just gonna be like the most litigious motherfucker on the planet and like try to take a piece of like any kind of new art that comes out. It seems no different than a litany of different cottage industries in every single aspect under capitalism that is created to do patent trolling. You know what I mean? That's what it almost feels like, which is so disgusting, especially because like I feel like it spits in the face of art, because it does have a chilling effect on art in many respects. Like it's basically working to you know, put another unnecessary artificial fucking barrier in front of new art being created. This shit is all incredibly arbitrary. Adam literally never mentions how this is all null anyways. You can copyright anything with enough money. All music is derivative. Should I have to pay for the inventor of pop or house music every time I make a song? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this dog is gonna be the end of me. This is not responding. I've been so good not to respond. You would think that she is being murdered. You would think with her behavior that she is being murdered. Like she's not getting stimulated enough. Like this is an absolute tragedy. This is a travesty. You have locked me in this cage. Try redirecting her behavior. I don't want to redirect her behavior right now because she's doing something bad, which is why I'm holding strong, because I don't want to redirect her at this moment while she's behaving this way, because I don't want her to think that this is the right thing to do. Training dogs looks too hard. It is very hard. She's probably pissed about the insane copyright litigation. Yeah. No, Kai is a big fan of you know, new art being created and destroying the boundaries of copyright litigation. She literally is like, no, I hate that. This is a travesty. And she's a big fan of Adam Neely too, I think, which is why she's extra upset that chatters are coming for Adam Neely. It's going to stop in a second when she gets bored and realizes that it's not helping. What she's doing is not helping. She'll eat some food, okay, which she's doing right now. She's going over to eat her fucking food. And then after that, she'll go back to playing with her toys and then passing the fuck out. She's drinking some water, so she'll take a fat little piss again. Imagine the base to those wines when she gets bigger. Well, that's why I got to nip it in the bud. Wait, what's wrong with Adam Neely? Nothing. I'm just kidding. I'm literally kidding. Does teething, and after that, oh, fuck. And after that, she'll come over and serve the top of the hour ad break. I didn't need to read that. And I read it, and I'm going to be fair, and I'm going to give it to you. Fucking Christ. Kaya says, let Ed Sheeran cook. I think that's what she's saying, yeah. It seems like it to me, too. Yeah, you're not supposed to... Why do dogs whine? Appeasement behavior. Some dogs whine incessantly when interacting with people or other dogs, usually while adopting a submissive posture. Greeting behavior. They whine during greetings. This kind of vocalization is motivated by excitement. Seeking attention. They whine in the presence of their owners in order to get attention, rewards, or desired objects. Anxiety. Some dogs whine in response to stressful situations. Whining sometimes seems involuntary. No, Carrot. Do you guys know why she's whining? Because she always shuts up. If I were to turn around and immediately turn to her, she would stop whining. She's whining for attention. That's why she's whining. So what are you supposed to do for, attention-seeking whining? If your dog uses whining behavior to seek attention, reward, or desired objects, you need to teach her that remaining quiet is a better strategy. Sometimes reducing attention-seeking whining may be difficult because owners may unwittingly reinforce that behavior. Realize that any eye contact, touching, or talking to your dog, even if you're scolding her, all constitute attention. Use dramatic body language such as turning away from your dog or folding your arms across your chest and completely ignore her to indicate to your dog that her attention-seeking whining won't work. Huh. Look at that. It's like I have 30,000 of you in the chat and another one right behind me doing the exact same thing. I'm going to reward the chatters who have subscribed to the top of the hour with a nifty little top of the hour ad break that they will not see. If you also do not want to see the top of the hour ad breaks, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, where you get one free Prime subscription a month. And there it is. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. In addition to not reinforcing whining behavior, you need to reward your dog for being quiet. Teach your dog that she must always be quiet before receiving your attention, play, or treats. Regularly seek out your dog to give her attention and rewards when she's not whining. When your dog understands that silence works well to get your attention, she won't feel as motivated to whine. Who wrote that, a cat? No, a dog wrote that.
The mashup earlier. If you got fancy
A dog that hates other dogs.
with time signatures and odd scales and whatever, you'd be making music in a different style. You wouldn't be adhering to the very strict aesthetic criteria that pop soul ballads dictate. Ed Townsend, the guy who co-wrote Let's Get It On, the guy on whose behalf the estate is suing Ed Sheeran, got his start with a doo-wop hit called For Your Love.
For your love.
Which sounds suspiciously similar to many other doo-wop songs, like Earth Angel, for example, or Heart and Soul.
Earth angel.
Heart and soul.
For your love.
For Your Love uses all of the tropes of doo-wop songwriting, including the famous 1-6-4-5 doo-wop chord progression, the triplet-y piano riff, the bass line, the orchestration. All of the things that make doo-wop sound the way that it does make Earth Angel and For Your Love sound nearly identical. If you didn't include
I like that. I don't need to have musical theory knowledge or be a super knowledgeable YouTuber on music to just come to the same conclusion that all art is fucking derivative.
all of these musical elements in your doo-wop song, it wouldn't sound like a doo-wop song. It would sound like something else. So is this evidence of For Your Love, Ed Townsend's earlier hit, copying Earth Angel? I would say yes, but in a way that's not unethical. This is just the way that musicians communicate musical ideas in styles. They use the basic building blocks that make up that genre, combine them together, and write songs with them. If these arguments sound familiar, by the way, I made this exact video like 4 years ago about this exact same case. And it's wild to see that they're using my arguments about Ed Townsend and Earth Angel and Heart and Soul in court. My point with this video is that there is a lot riding on this particular trial. The question here is whether or not you can own the collection of all of these musical elements that everybody uses as a genre signifier unto itself. Can you own genre? This is the question posed by hack music theory YouTubers. To play devil's advocate to this hack music theory YouTuber, shouldn't the people who invented the style and collected all of those musical elements in a way that was meaningful and codified them into a system, shouldn't they get some kind of legal protection for their innovation within a given style of music? Like credit, you know? Making sure that people know where the music comes from. It's hard to ignore the long history of white artists taking the musical vocabulary.
Doesn't matter. Still no. Look, the timing of all this copyright and ownership is uncanny. No, it's always happening. I talk about copyright so fucking much on this broadcast. You're just like paying more attention to it because of the Aiden Ross stuff recently. But in my 4 years or 5 years of being on this platform, 3 years full time being on this fucking platform, I've probably talked about copyright at the very least once every single week, because it is one of the most nefarious, one of the most awful ways in which capitalist profit seeking will destroy and eviscerate forms of art, including video games and including Twitch streaming as well, including live streaming or any kind of content creation on the internet. It is always happening. It never stops these motherfuckers. They can get backed down a million times over. They can get slapped around. They can be told to right off a million times over, but they'll never stop.
Vocabulary and genre signifiers of black music and profiting off of it in a way where the black artists that innovated it do not get properly compensated. And Ed Townsend's lawyers are more than happy to bring this up. I suspect issues of vibe, genre, and style will become much more important in the coming years as AI music becomes more and more relevant. In the visual arts, AI is very good at mimicking styles of artists that came before, and the ability for AI music to do the same is right around the corner. What's stopping from anybody to use an AI script saying, write me a song in the style of Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On with an acoustic guitar and lyrics about marriage? You'd probably get something pretty similar to Ed Sheeran's Thinking Out Loud. No shade on Ed Sheeran, but honestly, that's probably what would happen. I made a 30-minute video essay exploring the philosophical nature of ownership and music, but if you don't...
I already like this guy. He said it's grotesque. My man literally said, the grotesque legacy of music is property. I already like him. I don't need to know anything else about him. Immediately, I like him. What a great word to use about this subject matter. Enclosures are fucking disgusting, okay? No, this guy's awesome.
Philosophical nature of ownership and music, but if you don't want to suffer through my Lockean exploration of property rights, my basic proposal in the video is that copyright law needs to be radically rewritten to reflect practice. Artists recycle each other's work all the time. That's how music is done. You build on what came before. Jazz musicians, for example, are expected to cite and quote music from the jazz tradition as a matter of practice. When you do this, it means that you respect the music and where it comes from enough to have learned how to play it on your instrument and incorporate it into your improvisations. It means you're engaging in the culture. This is in some way also similar to academic practice, where it's not only an ethical necessity to cite your sources, it also looks better on you if you do so. It means you're actively connecting your work to what came before. More citations is generally better. So my idea with copyright is that we should have some kind of citational system. Ed Townsend did not write Thinking Out Loud. It's a different song altogether, different lyrics, different meaning. But Ed Sheeran was definitely channeling a Let's Get It On vibe when he wrote Thinking Out Loud. He should have a legal way of citing his source. And as ridiculous as it is to have 1 million songwriters on popular songs, I honestly think we should have more songwriters listed in songwriting credits. It seems ridiculous, but I think we should have more, like hundreds of songwriters listed for every song written, because that's honestly kind of...
Okay, but like, wouldn't that also open you up to being sued though? I mean, obviously this isn't a perfect world where like we've destroyed the concept of like ridiculous litigation over copyright. But I feel like anyone could just be like, well, they did point to it. Like, I don't think this guy's estate is going to stop.
Kind of true, especially since generative AI music is right around the corner as a viable commercial product. We need to have ways to protect the labor of human songwriters and their contributions to music. Anyway, those are my thoughts on it. If you like this video, I have a playlist of other copyright videos that you can go check out.
Have you heard AI music? Yeah. No, because when someone is listed as an artist, that means they were compensated for their work on the song. That's what I mean. He means like a citation. Jazz is my life. This is my music. UK TikTok.
This is the strange tradition of gurning, a facial contortion competition held in the UK. Gurning originated in the medieval times as a way to mock and ridicule people. But over the years, it has become a competitive sport, with participants competing to see who can make the most grotesque face. The rules of gurning are simple. Participants must put their head through a horse collar and contort their face as much as possible without using their hands. The person with the most impressive gurn is declared the winner. Gurning may seem like a silly, pointless activity, but it's actually a beloved tradition in the UK. So next time you're feeling down, why not try gurning and see if it puts a smile on your face?
I don't get it. British people are that ugly by design, though. Like what are they? They're having a fucking mid-off, but like you would not be able to fucking go up against a British person in a gurning competition. Let's be real. Also, this is kind of funny. This is like Jokar face or like Sigma face before Sigma face. If you imitate this, I will literally unsub and never watch again. I can't even do that. My face doesn't do that. Visa, your UK visa has been revoked just now. It's funny you say that, but I'm an American, bitch. So it don't matter. This TikTok of you, Lud, Will, and Austin is popping off.
2 for the show.
1 for the money, 2 for the show. 1 for the money, 2 for the show.
1 for the money, 2 for the hoes.
The fuck? Hey, if you like this video, please subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss out on any future videos.